Namaste. Dear viewers, welcome to my YouTube astrological channel, Akool Saral Jyotish Astrology Simplified. I am Akool, astrological author, analyst, and researcher. Today, I'll show my beloved viewers how to analyze Dasha Pravesh Chart. Dasha Pravesh Chart is not much discussed in astrology. So my focus is on Dasha Pravesh Chart because it gives very good result in analyzing a particular Mahadasha. So Dasha Pravesh Chart is a unique chart and it is an aiding tool to analyze the probable result of a Mahadasha during its operation. So Dasha Pravesh Chart I have already discussed in one of my previous videos a few days back about the Dasha Pravesh Chart. In short, you can say it DPC. It is very important. It is an aiding tool because life is getting more and more complicated in the modern age. And until you bring some modern tools, you are not going to able to predict properly. So aiding tool are must and it has to be developed through research and development of astrology. And I believe in research and development of astrology, Hindu astrology, through scientific method and angle, logically. So Dasha Pravesh Chart is erected when a particular dosha start operating in your life. Mahadasha start operating in your life. So for erecting Dasha Pravesh Chart, you need the date and time of Dasha Pravesh and your place of birth. Date and time of Dasha Pravesh and your place of birth. Date and time of your Dasha Pravesh you will get in the astrological software if you are using any good software. Even Jagannath Hora, it also gives the date and time. Parashara Light, it is an advanced and it is not a free software, it has to be bought. It also gives date and time of entry of a particular Mahadasha. And your place of birth you can erect. So, Dasha Pravesh Chart. In the Dasha Pravesh Chart, main thrust would be how this Dasha Pravesh Chart is influencing your birth chart and various divisional chart. The main role played by the Dasha Pravesh Chart is the Dasha rule, Dasha Mahadasha Lord. You have to examine first the Mahadasha Lord, the condition of the Mahadasha Lord, whether it is in Raj Yuga, whether it is debilitated, whether it is exalted, all those things. And one more thing, since you have cast the Dasha Pravesh Chart, the Lagna and the Lagna Lord of the Dasha Pravesh Chart plays a vital role. So it is an aiding tool in analyzing the probable result of a dosha when a major event will take place. So this was the background. I think you could understand the prelude. Now let us proceed to the application part of Dasha Pravesh. I have brought the horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi because it is the most reliable horoscope. So, when the Saturn Mahadasha began in the life of Srimati Indira Gandhi, a former Prime Minister of India, she had 4 or 5 major events in her life. First, he was ousted from the power. in 1977 by Morarji Desai government. She was ousted from the power. This was a major event. She again regained power in 1980 January. That was a major event. Thus, the marriage of his second son, Sanjay Gandhi, also took place during Saturn Mahadasha. Sanjay Gandhi also lost his life in a chopper crash during her Saturn Mahadasha, and she was assassinated also during Saturn Mahadasha. So there are 5 major events. She lost her life during Saturn Mahadasha. So it was a major event giving Mahadasha in her life. So first I have brought the Dasha Pravesh Chart so that we can understand the various angle of this Dasha Pravesh Chart. How the Dasha has entered, with what promise, that you will able to easily know. Just remain tuned to the video until the end. I will help my viewers to understand the same. So when the Saturn entered as Mahadasha in the life of Srimati Indira Gandhi on 14th of November 1970. 14th of November 1970 at 10:40 a.m. This was the ingress time of Saturn Mahadasha, 11:40, as per Parashara Light software. 11:40 it entered. On 14th of November 1970, place of birth, her place of birth is Allahabad. So we will be taking Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, India as the place of birth. First, at a glance, you can see the Saturn was debilitated. When the Mahadasha of Saturn commenced, it was debilitated. Saturn is in Aries and retrograde. Both way it was not keeping good promise. First it was retrograde. Retrograde planet behave unusually, and it was debilitated too. Although debilitation was cancelled because of the aspect of the Venus, who is the exaltation sign lord of Saturn, it cancelled the debilitation. And Mars, who is the debilitation sign lord of Saturn, it also cancelled the debilitation of Saturn, since Mars is also aspecting Saturn from Virgo by his 5th aspect. And Saturn and Saturn and Venus, the exaltation sign lord of Saturn, are in mutual aspect. So debilitation was cancelled. There was no doubt about it. But please remember one thing, it is my experience that debilitated planet invariably give the result of its debilitation at the beginning. It will invariably give. It will bring you down, then it will take you up. When the debilitation is cancelled, it will first give you the result of debilitation. It will bring you down and again bring you up. It is my experience, and it works. So Saturn, the Mahadasha Lord in the life of Srimati Indira Gandhi, is in Aries, debilitated with debilitation cancelled. Ascendant at the time of entry of Saturn Mahadasha was Sagittarius, which is identical to the 6th house of struggle of her birth chart and Saptamsha chart. 6th house of struggle. Sagittarius is the 6th house of struggle in the birth chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. I will show. I have brought the birth chart also. So struggle is indicated because Lagna is very important. Lagna is very important. Moreover, the Lagna Lord Jupiter has been aspecting the Mahadasha Lord Saturn. So, something very struggleful Mahadasha, you can say. It will give you struggle. You have to fight a lot. So, it gave that kind of result because she was ousted from the power. She was in power before commencement of the, not before commencement, she was in power for 10 years continuously from 1966 to 1977, and he was ousted from the power during Saturn Mahadasha. So let us now see the birth chart. We will again come back to the this thing, Dasha Pravesh Chart of Saturn. It is the birth chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi, and 4 or 5, at least 5 major events. One is her death took place during Saturn Mahadasha. So it is the birth chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi, very accurate horoscope. Most of the astrologers believe in this horoscope. Many research, astrological research have been undertaken based on the horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi, a former Prime Minister of India. Her Lagna is Cancer with Saturn in the Lagna. So what the major events took place in her life during Saturn Mahadasha? First, she was thrown out from the power. So we must concentrate on his 10th house. The marriage of her second son took place. Second son is seen from the 7th house, since it is third from the 5th house. 5th house is the house of first child, and 7th house is the house of second child, since third from the 5th, younger brother of the elder brother, and 7th house. And the Morocco house of the 7th house is the Lagna and the 8th house, because Morocco house of the 7th house means second son, second child is always the 8th house and the Lagna, because these are the second house and the 7th house, Morocco house for the second child. Morocco house for self, for the native, is always the second house and the 7th house, including the 8th house also, because 8th house considered to be the most inauspicious house. I don't believe, but still it works as a most inauspicious house also. So her 10th house is Aries. We have already seen that Saturn was transiting through Aries, means it was the 10th house, and it was debilitated in the 10th house, albeit with cancellation of debilitation. So Saturn was debilitated. It will give the result of debilitation because it has been influencing the 10th house, and Saturn is also connected to the 10th house. From Lagna, by its 10th aspect, it has been aspecting the Karaka Baba, the 10th house of the birth. So it will definitely give result of the 10th house, either good or bad, during its Mahadasha. It is for sure. Even in D10, I will show in the D10, Saturn is exalted. In D10, Saturn, the chart for the divisional chart for profession, the Saturn is exalted. So it will give the result of exaltation also, and it is in the 11th house and has been aspecting what is called the Lagna of the Dashamsha, the Karaka Baba. What are the Karaka Babas of Dashamsha? The Lagna Lord, 10th house, 10th Lord. are the Karaka Bhava of Dashamsha. So Saturn has been, by his third aspect from Libra, has been aspecting the Karaka Bhava Lagna of the Dashamsha chart. It is with Moon. Who is Moon for Sagittarius ascendant? Who is Moon? Moon is the 8th Lord. Lord of suddenness. It will give sudden result. Saturn is associated with Moon. So it will give sudden result. 8th house, sudden result. You cannot predict what will happen. Astrologer can predict, but unpredictable result. If whatever you will think, something different will happen suddenly. So it will give the result of suddenness. Who knew that Sanjay Gandhi will die? Who knew that she will lost her power? Who knew she would again regain the power within 3 years? Everything happened, na? So 8th house can do all those things. Suddenness. Everything will come suddenly. So, and Saturn by his 7th aspect has been aspecting the 5th house of the Dashamsha. 5th house is not a good house as far as profession is concerned, since it is 8th house from the 10th house of profession. 5th house is never good house for professional matter, and 9th house also. 9th house is the 12th house from the 10th house. So our profession comes under 10th house, and Lagna of the Dashamsha is Karaka, is overall karma, and profession is seen from the 10th house only, and it is the overall karma. You cannot ignore the overall karma also, because karma gives us result. So we are just getting acquainted with the chart. So Saturn is capable of giving her the professional result during its Mahadasha. Good or bad depend on the analysis of the Dasha Pravesh Chart. So she was assassinated also during Saturn Mahadasha. Saturn is the 7th Lord. For Cancer ascendant, Saturn is the 7th Lord, and Saturn is the 8th Lord also. So its lordship is very bad in the birth chart. Maraka lordship. 7th Lord, and it is in the Lagna. It will cause harm to your physical body. Lagna means physical body. And it is in mutual aspect with Moon, who is the Lagna Lord. And Moon is a soft planet, and Saturn is a cruel planet. So Saturn can, what is called, harm the physical body, and that exactly took place during Saturn Mahadasha. She was assassinated. Her physical body was harmed. So it was there. And about Sun, you see, Saturn is the 7th Lord, 3rd from the 5th in the birth chart. Saturn is the 7th Lord. So it is the Lord of his second child, Sanjay Gandhi. Where Saturn is in the Lagna, means 7th Maraka house from the 7th house. It is the Maraka Lord for the 7th house. Saturn is in the Maraka house. Lagna means Maraka house for 7th house. 7th house represents second child, your second child. So it is a Maraka. Moreover, it is the 8th Lord also. For Cancer ascendant, Saturn is the 7th and 8th Lord. 8th Lord as 8th Lord from the 7th house of second child, it is the Maraka Lord. Maraka Lord in the Maraka house. You see how bad. Now let us have a look at the Saptansha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi, whether Saturn is linked to any Karaka Bhava of the Saptansha chart to enable it to deliver the result of his relating to his children, relating to her children. Saturn is in the 12th house. First, it is in the best house of the Saptamsha, D7. First, it is in the bad house, S7th and 8th Lord. Not good at all. And it has been aspecting Moon in Leo by his third aspect. So it is connected to the Karaka Baba. Moreover, Mars, who is the fifth Lord, Karaka Baba Lord, has been aspecting Saturn in Gemini from Scorpio by his eighth aspect. Eighth aspect is an accident-prone aspect. Eighth aspect of the Saturn Mars is an accident, accident, accident giving aspect. So Saturn is connected, so it will give the result. All the 4 events it can, for 5 events it can do. This thing, throwing out from power, reinstating to power, the marriage of the sun, second sun, because it is connected to the Lagna of the birth chart. From 7th house it is connected to the Lagna. 7th house is the house of second child, and from 7th house it is connected to the Lagna, which is the marriage giving house also, you all know. And his and her assassination as the 8th Lord, 7th Lord of the birth chart. Isn't it? So we have by now accustomed with the birth chart, Dashamsha chart, and the Saptamsha chart. And all the 5 major events are related to these 3 charts: profession and child. Second child, particularly second child. Marriage plus death in a chopper crash. Her ousting from the power and her reinstating to the power and her assassination. All can be analyzed through these 3 charts: birth chart, Dashamsha, Saptamsha. So Saturn is connected. It will definitely give result. So let us go back to the Dasha Pravesh chart of Saturn. We have already seen Saturn is what is called debilitated, with debilitation cancelled. So it started giving the result of debilitation first. It threw her out from the power. So Saturn is in the 10th house, natal 10th house. During at the time of commencement of the Mahadasha, it was in Aries, it was in the natal 10th house and debilitated. Bring her down was the promise of Saturn. And again take her up because of the cancel of the debilitation was the promise of the Saturn due to the cancellation of debilitation. Isn't it? So Saturn from Aries has also been aspecting Jupiter. You see Jupiter in the D10 chart. Jupiter is in Gemini. So Saturn was in Aries in the Dasha Pravesh chart. So it was aspecting the Karaka Bhava Lord, Jupiter, who is the ascendant lord of D10. So she was brought down from the power and reinstated from the power. Let us examine if Saturn is in any Raj Yoga or not. For Sagittarius ascendant in the Dasha Pravesh chart, Venus is a number 1 functional malefic because of its 6th lordship and 11th lordship. Both are Trishadaya house. So Venus will not allow to Rajyog to operate. Jupiter is the Dasha Lord, Mahadasha Lord. Jupiter is the ascendant Lord of the DPC. So Jupiter is triny lot, one kind of triny lot, and Sun is the ninth lot for Sagittarius Dasha Pravesh ascendant. So they were in Raj Yuga. Who? Jupiter and Sun. Jupiter is a triny lord for its Dasha Pravesh ascendant lordship, and Sun is the ninth lord. So both are the triny lord and beneficial in the Dasha Pravesh chart. They were expecting Saturn. Means some amount of Raj Yuga was transferred to Saturn by the Jupiter and Venus in the Dasha Pravesh chart. So he got some Raj Yuga in the Dasha Pravesh chart. Moreover, you have to remember Saturn is exalted in the Dashamsha chart of Srimati Indira Gandhi. It is in Libra. Although it is with 8th lord, but it is in Libra, exalted planet. Here also it is the second and the third lord. So the event is seen that the Dasha Pravesh chart shown the event that she will be once brought down from the power and she will be again reinstated in the power. So it happened. Now let us examine the 7th house of the Dasha Pravesh chart. You see, when the Sagittarius is Lagna, the 7th house is Gemini. 7th house is Gemini. And where is Mercury? Mercury is in the 12th house. Mercury is the 7th lord. For Sagittarius ascendant, DPC, Mercury is the 7th lord of second child and 10th lord also. 10th lord also Mercury of profession, and it is in the 12th house. It is a Trig Bhava, wherefrom you can expect good result about the second child based on this Dasha Pravesh chart. Impossible. And Mercury and Mars, you see, Mars, who is the 12th lord of the Dasha Pravesh chart, is in Virgo, the 10th house. 10th house of the D10 and 10th house of the Dasha Pravesh chart is Mercury, who is the 12th lord for his Scorpio lordship, and Mars and Mercury is the 10th lord and the 7th lord is in Scorpio. So there is Parivartan Yoga between the 7th lord and the 12th lord and the 10th lord and the 12th lord, means loss. 12th house is the house of loss. So they are in Parivartan Yoga, exchange yoga between Mercury and Mars. So loss to the children, loss of status, and regain of the status also, because the debilitation is cancelled and Saturn is in the 10th house. Debilitation is also cancelled. This is how the Dasha Pravesh chart has to be analyzed. One more point, her assassination. See, in the Dasha Pravesh chart, the 7th house is Gemini. 7th house is a Marako place, isn't it? And second house is what is called second house is Capricorn. That is also a Marako place. Saturn from Aries can very well aspect the 7th house. 7th house, the house of second child, very well aspect, and it can aspect the child of the second house as well as the Marako place, Marako house for the native, and it has been also aspecting the second house by its 10th aspect from Aries. That is also a Marako place. That is, assassination took place. She was died during Saturn Mahadasha. Saturn was aspecting the 7th house of the Dasha Pravesh chart as well as the 2nd house of the Dasha Pravesh chart. Both are Marco place, and 2nd house is more Marco place because it is Capricorn, his own sign, the sign of the Saturn, Capricorn, and Saturn has been aspecting Capricorn, making the Marco house very strong. 2nd house is the Marco house, very strong. So all those events we can easily see from the Dasha Pravesh chart by correlating the bar chart with it, the Saptamsha chart with it, and the Shamsha chart with him. All the events we could easily predict. This is the way how the Dasha Pravesh chart has to be analyzed. It is a very interesting. Once you start analyzing Dasha Pravesh chart, you will be you will be surprised by the outcome. The prediction will go correct because it is based on the date time of the entry of the dosha and your place of birth. So simple. Correlate with the first with the birth chart and then with the different relevant different divisional chart. You will get the answer. The Pravesh chart will give you the answer. Otherwise, it is difficult. It is an aiding tool. Only very expert astrologer can analyze Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardasha. It is not a cup of tea for everybody without any aiding tool. So I have brought the aiding tool, that is DPC, Dasha Pravesh chart. I think my viewers should be benefited with this video presentation. So if you have liked the video, please give a like, share the video among your friends, relatives, and comment. As well as please subscribe to the channel to give me encouragement to bring such kind of unique and new thing before you. Nobody is discussing such things so elaborately. You are in YouTube for long. You have seen nobody is discussing. They are discussing some rhetorical thing which are easily available in the book. No research contribution, no new outlook, no new eye-opener theory. But I am bringing all these are eye-openers for my beloved viewers. So this was the presentation for the day. Thanks a lot. Namaste.